Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis today stressed the need for the Bahamas to use its assets, and this particularly as tourism is the country's most natural and sustainable comparative and competitive advantage. With that said, the Prime Minister comes developing the islands, and this includes going off the grid.
We must build platforms for development of major islands, including airport and port facilities, health centers, schools, as well as communication and road networks, along with adequate water and electricity supplies. We must transition as quickly as possible to renewable energy and to solar energy in particular.
The PM cited proximity as another important factor for tourists choosing the Bahamas as a vacation destination, as he believes the most powerful force for leisure travel is proximity. And this is one of the major reasons he said that airline travel to the Bahamas must be reduced, especially from markets like Florida.
It is clearly much easier and far more likely for people shorter distances away to choose the Bahamas and to consider coming multiple times per year as compared to people much further away. We also recognize that people much farther away have to spend more of their money getting to the Bahamas as compared to those much nearer by. We would rather people spend their money enjoying themselves in the Bahamas instead of spending most of their money getting to the Bahamas. So, proximity truly moves.
The PM was the keynote speaker at the Bahamas Tourism and Hotel Association's annual general meeting at the Atlantis Resort. Meantime, stopover visitor arrivals grew by 7.4% for the first 9 months of the year compared to the 6.8% decrease over the same period in 2017. Preliminary data from the Ministry of Tourism indicating that the most significant gains were right here in New Providence, in part due to the completion of Bahamas' phased opening. The latest Central Bank monthly economic and financial report also found that despite the ongoing challenges in room capacity following the closure of several hotels due to hurricane damage, stopover visitors to Grand Bahama affirmed by 3.5% on a year-to-date basis. That a reversal from the prior period's 39.5% plunge. In contrast, visitors to the Family Islands dropped by 6.9% over the 9-month period under review. Information from the Nassau Airport Development Company, NAD, revealed a further 19.1% jump in passenger traffic through the country's major airport. This on the heels of a 16.1% increase the previous year. Environment Minister Ramal Ferreira is refuting claims that the procedure into requiring new management for the New Providence landfill was not as transparent as it ought to be. Mr. Ferreira telling reporters that some items within the contractual agreement between the government and the landfill's new management are commercially sensitive, but that in due time the public will be made aware.
Firstly, we had the RFP, and then the technical team had to evaluate each proposal. Once those proposals were evaluated, they were shortlisted. I gave several interviews indicating who the shortlisted persons were. Eventually, it was narrowed down to one preferred bidder or selected bidder, and we made the announcement as soon as that became available. Now, the selected bidder and the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Environment and Housing are engaged in negotiations as to how the contractual arrangement will look. That will govern the relationship between the parties, and that's what's going on now. As soon as that's complete, we'll have a signing ceremony and we'll disclose that.
According to the minister, here's where they are now with completing that document.
As you're aware, the government put out an RFP, and a number of persons participated. We had a selected bidder, which was announced. Now the lawyers are in negotiations to come up with a contractual document that will meet the expectations really of both parties. And since this is sort of, as lawyers like to say, breaking new ground, because never in the history of this country has something like this been attempted, certainly at this scale, and to have come this far.
Mr. Ferreira says at this point, the agreement is largely complete. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.